Yeah, I felt that one too. Hey guys, Abner Miranda here. Welcome out to the range. Today we are going to do a very brief video. And by the way, if you're wondering what that's about, I am just trying to find productive ways to get time on target, on the gun, without buzzing through a lot of ammo. And all this really is a 10-second par time. It's up, down, up. And it's 1, 1, 1. It requires motion, 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 and motion. Right? Up, down, up, motion. And, okay, I'll give you this briefly. Because I do a lot of video editing, what I notice is drills that require even minimal amounts of movements, will very rapidly, like we're talking within like 2 shots, can actually suck a person in and get them to forget about, I better remember to do this and this and this, and that's what, as an instructor, that's where you start finding what the deficits are in your students. So this is actually the type of thing you want to do. So anyways, the title of this video, bullets are terrible at killing, knives are better, but, okay, well, the but is, of course, I have to do what? I got to get in close. For this knife to do its job, I've got to get in close. And while a nick from this blade, because it's razor sharp, can open an artery is a timer. A bullet can trick a switch on the human body. But the thing about the bullet, we go back to the first thing that I said. The bullet is not as efficient at killing as the knife is. But the bullet allows me to reach out from a distance. You know what, let's do that one. The bullet allows me to reach out at a distance and smack a person to alter their behavior. I stopped this guy's advance from 80 yards, right? I stopped this guy's advance from 10 yards. With a knife, I'd have to be within maybe 3 yards to affect. From here, yeah, this is roughly 3 yards from this camera. From here, I could lunge and I could get the knife into you like that, right? But the problem is, what can you do? You can also parry my thrust. You can also get this knife out of my own hand, and then my own knife becomes a weapon being used against me. So whenever possible, I would prefer not to use a blade if I can avoid it. And I know someone's going to ask. This is the Utsirihi from RMJ Tactical. It's my everyday carry blade, and love it. It's a very nicely balanced blade, and as you can tell, it conceals quite well. There are varying schools of thought on knives versus guns versus fists, and I want to say, I'll have to dig it up. It's a book I read several years ago, and I want to say, I think it's in Rich's book, Gunfight, or maybe it's in his classes, but basically Rich Nance, who teaches a lot of very close-in weapons fighting. One of the things that he cites in his class, and I think it's also in a book, is that Bruce Lee used to carry a sidearm. I think he carried a .38 revolver. And he was once asked, and I'm going to have to paraphrase because I forget what the actual response was, but he was once asked, why do you carry a gun? And he says, because I can't punch you from across the street. And I'm, doing, right? Because Bruce Lee, once he's on you, he's really effective with that fist and foot. But you know what? If you're over there and he's over here, there's not much he can do if you're shooting at him. So by the same token, knives are very efficient but at killing. But guns are very efficient at stopping, and frankly, I'd rather stop than kill, if I can, which, well, yeah, I'll make this point. One of the reasons that I tend to shoot inside of this zone here on people is because this is the command center and this is the machinery. For me to disrupt, if we're talking about a machine, for me to disrupt a machine, I have to disrupt electrical, hydraulic, or pneumatic. One of those three. If I disrupt any one of those three, that machine ceases to be as efficient at doing its thing. Well, by the same thing with the human body, if I can disrupt any one of those three, I can disrupt your ability to be efficient at killing as a bad guy. Well, hydraulic is blood, carotid, jugular. Pneumatic is breathing, trachea, and electrical are the electrical impulses that come from the brain to the rest of the body, and they go right through the spinal cord. And all three of those elements go right through this area right here, which is why I tend to aim inside of this zone here. It also gets me over the top of body armor. When I left law enforcement, I became a body armor salesman. And I'm telling you, the things that I have personally seen pulling triggers on level 2 and level 2A, forget level 3A, which is it's 2A, 2, 3A are soft panels. Forget level 3A, just push that off out of your brain for right now. Level 2 and 2A are so stinking good by themselves at stopping common handgun threat rounds that I'm floored at the things that I have seen. I've seen a level 2A capture a 5.7 by 28 millimeter. Okay, I've seen it. I've done it. My boss and I were like, okay, so clearly we're making really, really good armor. Yeah, we were. So I train to get around body armor whenever possible. Look, I know how to defeat body armor. I know where to shoot a vest to defeat body armor because I've been trained on what the limitations are of armor. I'm not gonna tell you, but I know how to do it. So the most easy way to get around the issues of a bad guy being armored up is just shoot around his armor. Just avoid the armor altogether at what you're aiming at. So that's why I tend to shoot inside this zone. Someone's going to say, well, yeah, well, the pelvic shot. Stop. The pelvic shot. I'd love to know who the bonehead was that thought it was a swell idea to train people. Yeah, so I shoot the guy in the pelvis. I'll leave you with this. Guys, this is really simple. I grew up with two brothers, and we would go out into a field similar to this where we lived, and we would brawl. Now, we were just play fighting. Yeah, and many times I got my tail whooped because whatever issues they were dealing with, mommy and daddy got taken out on little brother. And I ceased to be little brother when I hit about 12 or 13, and then I became younger brother because I'm much taller than they are. But anyways, we got into these scraps in the backyard, and they were pretty ugly at times. And the one thing I can tell you is any strike from here up, man, that instantly stopped the fight. Throat punching, elbowing, clapping on the side of the head for the ear, I know what that feels like. Also, when I got into police academy and we were doing defensive tactics and we were doing full contact stuff, it was ugly. And there were times where people got hit up in these regions, and it was it was that kind of thing. You be quiet. It was that kind of thing going on. And no, I wasn't cursing. It was this. And so what I say to you, by the same token, that 6-inch lollipop is essentially the size of the middle of a person's head. If I've got the guy right here and I center punch him with a 9mm, bro, I don't care where that round hit him, whether it's frontal or whether it's nasal cavity or whether it just cracked off in his mouth and fractured on his teeth. That fight is over. And frankly, I would rather not kill him. I would rather get his stupidity to stop so I can and take off in that direction. Okay? Bullets are not effective at killing. Knives are far more effective, but you have to get close with a knife, and I frankly would rather not have to kill. I'd rather stop. As always, I thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Get those guns out in practice. Have a good one. Long shot! Long shot! I got to redeem myself. That's right. Have a nice day.